How to reprogram negative beliefs. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So on your manifestation journey, as you're trying to create whatever your dream reality, manifest something into your life, you might find that old belief systems, negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, things that block you and hold you back, fears, conditioned mindsets, are going to creep in telling you that this is impossible for you, that this isn't going to happen, that you're not worthy of this, and all sorts of messages, okay? And so we want to obviously not feed this energy. We want to reprogram our brain so that it starts to focus on the possibility of this dream coming true. So I have a few videos on my channel that I recommend that you watch first before we get into this, or maybe after, just to understand what this message is a little bit more. And I will link them below. But basically, you need to have a foundational understanding of creation and kind of like how the universe works in order to really believe and know that you can manifest anything that you desire. So if you want to watch those videos first, go ahead. If you want to just jump into this one, that's fine, watch them after, whatever. But basically, I encourage you to first and foremost, before you start to, go down this conscious manifestation journey and you start to like jump right into reprogramming your beliefs and writing out your affirmations and your desires and what it is that you want to create in this world, and then trying to affirm that, and then having those negative beliefs that come up that counteract that, feel like you need to know that this is already yours. And that's why the video that I created that I'm going to put right here, down there, you should watch first, because this is a paradigm shift that will help you to step into the knowingness that this is already yours without the practices, without the visualizations. It's a remembering of who you are, and it's a shift that can just propel you forward, okay, to understanding that you are already that which you desire, okay? So once you understand that, then you can much more easily reprogram and reframe and affirm new things, because it's not forced. Because a lot of times people do these affirmations to make themselves believe that this is who they are. But if you already know that this is who you are, through the video that I created in great detail that explains this, then you will much more easily be able to reprogram and reaffirm, okay? So that's why I just really do recommend that you watch that video. But if you don't, let's get into this video here. So a very important part of reprogramming your negative beliefs is to be observant and aware of the thoughts that you're having. So consciousness is very, very important. Being present and being aware and a witness of what it is that's going on in your head is going to allow you to obviously pinpoint what is negative and what you don't want to continue. So beliefs are essentially just a series of thoughts that you have thought for a long period of time that have now solidified into this belief, this idea. And now this has become your truth, and this is the energy from which you function, and this is what you're creating in your reality based on this belief, this knowing, right? But you can change that by thinking a series of new thoughts or having big shifts in reality, but now that's going to allow you to think differently. That's why it's so powerful to have epiphanies and realizations and shifts, because they propel you forward into new ways of thinking instead of forcing you to think new ways, right? So the whole key is to start being different, thinking different thoughts, feeling differently, showing up differently in your world as this version of yourself that you want to create, as this desired reality that you want to live in. So your thoughts are going to shape your reality. Your things that you focus on shape your reality. So the first thing that I recommend is that obviously you observe your thoughts and become aware of your patterns. Okay, so you can do this for 3 days, a week, however long. You don't have to change anything right now. Just start to become aware of what are the types of thoughts that you have. What are your go-to beliefs? What are your go-to fears? Do you have self-sabotaging patterns? What is going on in this thing of yours? Okay. And step 2, once you become more aware of yourself, you're going to be like, holy shit, I really am destructive in this way, or these thoughts are really not conductive to creating my dream life. The second thing that you're going to do is whenever a negative thought comes up or some sort of a belief that tells you, that goes against the creation of this desire, or is not aligned with your desire, or is not a truth that coincides with this desire that you want, you're going to immediately, without feeding it more energy, dwelling in it, giving it emotion, because emotion and thought together is what creates reality. So instead of giving it your emotion and your validation and your truth, getting really into it and being yeah, this is so true, get into self-doubt, get into disbelief, get into discouragement and hopelessness, and then feeding that energy, you're going to immediately observe that thought and be like, holy shit, like this thought is totally destructive. This thought is not conductive to me manifesting this dream reality. You know, this is not a version of myself. This is not a version of myself that I want to experience. And so you immediately follow it up with a different belief or a different thought of the truth. And this truth has to really resonate with you, okay? At first, it might just be empty words and affirmations until you train your subconscious to believe this. This is why I recommend watching that video that I created, because understanding that this version of you that you want to experience already is you, is going to really give you that confidence when this negative belief comes up. You're just going to respond so confidently and with so much conviction and emotion of like, no, like you are so not real. This is so real for me. Like this dream is already mine, you know, because that's kind of the advice, right? Is like to counteract any negative thought or belief with like an affirmation of what's already what you want to be true. So it's like, I am already this successful person. I'm already in a loving relationship. I am this or that, okay? And just a way that to make that more real for you is to know that that actually is you. And just to affirm that for yourself. So whenever a negative thought comes up, you counteract it with a positive statement, a positive belief of the truth of this desire that you want to manifest. Like, I am this, I am already this. And then you maybe give yourself reasons to why. For me, it really helps me to understand how the universe works. So like, I have a hard time believing something where it's like, okay, just repeat this for a period of time and this will change. Like, I believe that it works, but if it doesn't resonate with me on like a soul level of like, why or how, and it's not like I need proof or evidence from the physical world. I'm the type of person that needs to understand it spiritually. Like, how does this work spiritually? Like, what is the spiritual truth of this scientific theory or this idea or this practice? Like, it has to resonate with my soul. It has to resonate with me on a deeper spiritual level. That's just like how I function. So I have gained a really great understanding of how the universe works, okay? Consciousness, creation, the existence of the universe. I have gained a pretty solid understanding of that, to where I have gotten myself to a place where I actually believe truly that I can have anything that I desire. The only limit that I have is myself. The only limit that I have is my own beliefs around something, you know? Like, I genuinely believe that now, whereas before I like didn't believe that I could have certain things. So that was my process. So I do recommend, there are some prerequisites to this, to reprogramming your mind, to make it easier. You don't need those prerequisites. You don't need a deeper understanding of spirituality or creation or manifestation or law of attraction or law of assumption or anything. Like, you don't need it. You can just continue to whenever a negative belief comes up, you overpower it, you counteract it with a more positive, accurate, truthful belief every single time this belief comes up, and you just keep affirming that and you keep telling yourself that, and eventually this is just going to start to become more and more accepted by your subconscious, and you're going to start to feel the emotion of that statement, and then you're going to start to experience reality as that. So you can do it that way, and that will work as well. I just feel like, what would make it easier? What would make it easier to override these negative beliefs? Well, it would make it easier if I had a foundational understanding of what is actually taking place here, how it's all working, so that it makes me have less resistance around the process, because I already even trust the process. But this is essentially what you would do. This is how to reprogram your mind. Anytime for me, a thought comes up that kind of goes against this thing that I want to bring into my reality, any sort of thought that is negative that goes against that, I immediately catch it and I immediately follow it up with a truth statement that resonates for me. The whole idea is it should resonate for you. It should feel true for you. It should come with feeling, emotion, and conviction. And like, this is actually the truth. Like, it's almost like you have to believe it, you know? So come up with some counteractive response that you actually truly believe to be true. It could be even evidence from your life of how you're already not this person. Look, I'm already this person. No, like, and you know, acknowledge the thought. So like, don't be mad at it. Don't like push it away or talk shit to it. Just gently observe it and acknowledge it and say, I see you. Like, I see that you're just old programming that's showing back up. I see that you're just a conditioned mindset, You're an old belief system. I see you and I know where you're coming from, but this is my truth now. This is my truth now. This is it. And you just keep doing that until this belief dies. This belief no longer has energy. It has no more of an emotional charge. This new belief has an emotional charge now. And this is what you're going to start to see manifest in your physical reality. And I want to note that some of these beliefs that you have might not be conscious beliefs that you have created. They might not be things that you chose to have or that you actively are like, yes, like I believe this. They are subconscious patterns that have come from your childhood, that have come from your parents, from society, from media, from mainstream culture. Like, it's just these messages that we receive, and they are negative in nature. A lot of them are lack-based. A lot of them are like, you have to work really, really hard to be successful. Money is really hard to make. You should earn whatever it is that you have. You need to perform really well in order to be worthy. These are all negative beliefs. These are all limiting beliefs. So another thing I recommend that you do is perhaps before you start to do this actively in your daily life, like, as it's happening, as it's coming up, do a little exercise prior and just really write out all of these limiting beliefs that you have around, so identify your desire, right? Identify what you want, and then identify these limiting beliefs to why you don't think you can have this. And those are the beliefs that are probably going to be coming up, and those are the ones that you're going to be rewriting. So maybe in this exercise, prior to doing this in the real world, come up with the opposing belief that resonates as the truth for you, or maybe it doesn't resonate as the truth for you yet, but you're like, this is going to resonate for me at some point. Because at first, like, I genuinely had this belief that, like, I have to work really, really hard to get what I want. It takes a lot of time. Okay, I think a lot of us have that. And I genuinely believe this. And for 3 weeks, I committed to a practice. I'm still doing this practice, and this is still a commitment, but it's been over 3 weeks now. I committed to rewiring my brain, right? It's just rewiring, putting my attention on the things that I want, just like completely shifting my reality. And in just 3 weeks' time, I no longer resonate with that belief. I don't resonate with the belief that things have to be hard in order to bring success or abundance. Actually, quite the opposite. The less effort you put into something, the more ease there is with it, the easier it is to attract and manifest abundance. So everything is shifting in my world. And I've only been consciously doing this for, over 3 weeks. But I also gained a great foundation. Like, I was reading a lot. So I was reading Conversations with God. I still am reading Conversations with God. It's not a religious book. It is about the creation of the universe, basically, like how, like, the purpose of life, like why God created the universe. And it's Neil Donald Walsh that has a conversation with God, the universe, source energy, and Neil asks all the questions that we have as humans. It's a bestseller book. Like, it sold millions of copies, translated to like 37 or 39 languages. It was written in the 90s. There's also a movie made on it called Conversations with God, if you want to just start there. I don't know, man. It's fucking profound. It's mind-blowing. It goes along with the teachings of spirituality. It goes along with the teachings of spiritual truths. That book just really resonates for me for some reason. Like, it just hits my soul. How books do that. So maybe it'll hit your soul too. I've recommended it to many people and it's had the same effect. So highly recommend it. And then Neville Goddard is another spiritual teacher that I've really been listening to. And he's also helped me to reshape my belief system around manifestation and believing that we can have anything that we desire. So it's just these daily active practices that I was doing to believe, even just to believe this concept that we can have anything that we want. I think that's one of the core negative beliefs that we have, is like, we don't even think we can have the things because we don't know our power. We don't know how powerful we are as human beings. That is the number one biggest brainwashing, is making us believe that we are these small little separate entities, disconnected from everything. So I think if you start there with that belief and you see yourself as this powerful creator, that you are God manifested into physical form and God is just expressing itself through you, the universe, source energy, I think that's going to be like the biggest shift, okay? And then understanding creation, understanding how manifestation works, understanding reality, and that anything that you focus on and infuse it with emotion, anything that you are, essentially anything that you become in energy, is what you shall by law manifest into your physical reality. The universe will shift realities for you to bring that to you. That is law. It happens. It's just the nature of life. So there are, I think, some foundational things that you have to understand to shift these negative beliefs. But once you do that, and then you identify that you still have some lingering, your own personal beliefs about yourself, that you are not worthy, that you're not capable, that you're going to fail because you can't think positively all the time, those are the things that you're going to have to reprogram, and you're going to have to be disciplined and observe your thoughts and not let them take up space, and always come back to the truth, always come back to the truth. So that's what you do. That's how you do it. It is a practice. It does take some level of effort, I suppose, but it's just more like mental discipline, because once you realize that you are the creator of your reality and everything that you see around you is something that you have created, and it is through this mind that you have, your imagination, your emotions, your focus, your attention, your thoughts, which creates your frequency and your vibration. And that is what you're bringing to your reality. Once you realize this and accept this and truly take accountability, you will want to be disciplined. Trust me, you will. You're going to be like, holy fuck. Like, once you truly accept that this is reality and this is truth, you're going to be much more motivated to clean up your thoughts and to be more discerning. It's like being disciplined with the food that you eat, or like what kind of TV that you watch. It's what kind of people you allow into your life. It's the same with thoughts. It's like, no, I choose not to dwell on that. I choose not to think about that because I know that's gonna now have a consequence in my physical reality, and I'm not trying to do that. It's like you just have this natural motivation to want to rewire. That's what happened with me. Like, there is no going back. It's like, once you see the light, you can't unsee the light. Once that light wakes up within you, you can't unsee reality in that way. Like, you can't see reality in any other way than I create my own reality. And these negative thoughts are creating my reality. So I'm definitely going to be disciplined with not feeding them. But you don't do this from a worried energy of, oh my gosh, there's another thought. Fuck, that's going to create like a bad reality for myself. And then you worry because that's a thought. That's an energy that now it's also an energy. You let it go. You accept it. You forgive yourself. You have compassion. You say, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to have these thoughts right now. It's okay to have a bad day. Allow yourself to have a bad day. When you have bad days, maybe don't over focus on, okay, I have to reshape my reality and I have to come back to positive thoughts. When you're having a bad day, when you're already feeling shitty and low, just observe. Just observe your thoughts. And even then, you don't have to feed them. You don't have to necessarily counteract them with positive thoughts if you are not feeling positive. I have been there. And I'm like, I literally cannot right now. But you know what I did? I at least still was the observer of my thoughts, because let me tell you, the moment that you start observing your thoughts, you're not the thought. You're no longer lost in the thought. The moment that you can observe, like, oh, that's a negative thought. Oh, that was doubt right there. Oh, that thought is telling me that, that's old programming. Literally, the moment that you witness it, the moment that you become aware of it, you are the awareness of the thought. You are not the thought. Oftentimes we're the thought. We're inside the thought. We're dwelling in the thought. We think we're the thought. We create from our thoughts. The moment you rise out of that and realize that you are the observer of this thought, it goes away. It naturally goes away. And so if you're having a bad day and you can't counteract with positive thoughts, at least just observe, because through observation, you're not feeding it. Don't feed it. Just be aware of it. Don't feed it. The awareness doesn't allow you to feed it. And that could be a great practice too, to see like, ooh, where do my blocks lie? Wow, that thought comes up a lot. And then when you're feeling better, you can maybe do more journaling, work through it. Maybe you want to do it on that bad day, whatever. I don't know. Like, it's still an opportunity for growth. Like, even bad days, I realize I'm like, wow, like I'm not in good energy, like I'm pushing away my manifestation, like I don't believe in it right now, whatever. And then these thoughts come up, and then I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to feed those thoughts. Like I'm at least just going to be aware of them, but I don't have energy for anything else. And then I realized, like, wow, like these are the patterns. And then you just use that opportunity for growth and like, ooh, I could still learn something from this. Oh, I'm learning that, you know, this is the type of recurring thoughts that I have that is obviously my, like, maybe main block that I have that I want to work through. And then you focus on working through that, you know, through a different process, whatever. Also, don't get lost in the process, you know. Anyway, that video that I created on how to know that what you want is already yours, highly recommend watching that, because that's going to just immediately shift you out of this like nervous energy and just get into this energy of surrender and knowing that this is already yours. Okay, it's a deep dive. It's a deeply spiritual understanding of who you are, so that you can understand that you already are that which you want. Okay, it's gonna help you to shift into that reality easily, without effort, and then everything from that place comes more effortlessly. I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if it was, anything that you want to share, any struggles that you've had. I would just love to hear from you. Please subscribe to my channel for more on manifestation and other things that I'm learning in my life. And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.